today's workshop, we are going to work on how to pinpoint your purpose. So whether you know very clearly what your purpose is, but you have some fears or anxieties that are bubbling up about how you fulfill your purpose, or if you're thinking, I'm not quite sure what my purpose is, or I think I kind of know, but I just would like a bit of confirmation. We're going to dive into that in this workshop today. So let me tell you a little bit about your incredible leader for today. Her name is Lisa Clifford. We've been friends for more than 18 years, and I can tell you, I've got totally behind her business. I've been part of her brand strategy. I've watched her develop and grow so many leaders over the last 18 years, and she was doing it way before even I came on the scene and met her all those years ago. Let me tell you a little bit more about Lisa. She is called the Meant for More mentor. She's an international keynote speaker. She's a regular BBC radio guest. She's a magazine columnist, and she's the founder of the Meant for More movement, which is leading millions of heart-led purpose seekers from feeling insignificant to invincible. So let's dive into Lisa's training today, and I'd love to see you go through it in the comments as if you were there live with us on Zoom. Use the comments below to make your comments and get involved and answer the questions. She's got some questions for you. I took loads and loads of notes as I went through this. I'm going to encourage you to make sure you've got a journal or some paper or something that you can make notes on, and get ready to pinpoint your purpose in an even more powerful, laser-focused way. And the visualization, by the way, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And of course, because you're watching the replay, you are able to pause and take a little bit more time on these questions than we did while we were doing the workshop live. And I'm going to encourage you that if you haven't been part of one of our live workshops, come and join in. It's free. We've got workshops that are running all throughout the year. Every other week, we have another one of our incredible authors from the Catalysts of Change community who come and join us and deliver some amazing impact, the kind of impact that other people are paying them thousands of pounds, euros, and dollars for to help them in their business. And you can get access to a little pinch of that magic by coming and joining us on the live masterclasses. So make sure you click on the link down below in the description and come and join us on one of our next masterclasses and be there live with us. All right, let's join Lisa to pinpoint your purpose. Let's go. Welcome to our very first Catalysts of Change masterclass stroke workshop that we are running all throughout this year. Before we do anything else, make sure you write this down. We have a totally free from all of our Catalysts of Change authors, the part of the book that we published just before Christmas. If you haven't got your copy of Catalysts of Change yet, please do go grab that copy. And if you've got one and you haven't left a review on Amazon yet, please do that. Lovely Lisa's holding hers up right there. But yeah, is the book available as an audio book? We are thinking of doing that, Dr. Teresa. So thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, we are talking about creating an audio version of it by doing a book reading. So we're looking at doing a book reading and recording that as we are doing it. So we'll be doing the reading live, most likely. So if you want to come and join in hearing the authors actually read their chapter in the book, we will be doing that. So that'll be coming up, but do mark your calendars, because on the first and third Tuesday of every month, we will have one of our authors come and deliver a workshop that takes what we talked about in the book, the chapter that they've written in the book. It's going to jump that out, because there's only so much you can actually write into the chapter. And we said, we can't fit all this amazing knowledge and information in. We're going to have to do something else. And so that's why we put these workshops in place all throughout the year. So these will happen on the first and the third Tuesday of every month, and it will always be on this Zoom link. So if you've signed up now, that's perfect, because now we can let you know when all of the others are coming out, but it's just helpful for us to know how many people are going to be logging in, because because it helps us to know who we're talking to and who we're supporting and impacting as we go. And we'd love you to share the love as well. So today's workshop is with the amazing Lisa Clifford. And for those of you that don't already know, Lisa and I go way back. We worked out that we've been doing life and business together for over 18 years now. So I know this incredible woman so well. I never, ever put anybody in front of the people that I care about, you, who I don't already trust implicitly, that I've got behind their business. I know their brands. I know how they treat people, how they do business. I'm very, very intentional with the people that I build relationships with. And I want to make sure that you don't have to spend 24 years, as I have, learning who not to do business with. I want to introduce you to the people who really can help you to move forward and that have phenomenal things they're doing with their clients. And I want you to receive at least a little bit of magic of what they're doing out in the world and making their difference and being catalysts of change, doing great, phenomenal things. So before I bring the lovely Lisa on, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from around the world? Get that in the chat so we can see all the different parts of the world that we're currently connecting to. I'm coming to you live from Texas. I'm just outside of Dallas in Texas. We realized that it was our 1-year anniversary 2 days ago. So we've been out here just over a year on the 5th of January. And that was a calling, that was a purpose, that was a meant for more moment that Greg and I both received a word from God at exactly the same time, exactly the same word, and independently received it, and then came together and said, I've heard this, and I don't know what we're going to do about it. Well, when you get the call, you get the call, you say yes, and you go. And that's what we did, which is what brought us here. So if you have been having some meant for more moments, and you know that there's a calling that's bigger and greater, that's pulling you forward, calling you forward, but maybe you're not sure what to do with it, or maybe you're not sure if it is it a higher power thing that's calling me? Is it just me that wants this? What is it that's actually calling me forward? And when I've been called forward, if I've got any fear or doubt or uncertainty around what do I do next? How many of you have had that happen, or it's happening for you now, maybe, where you know what the calling is, you know what you're meant to do, but there's something that's holding you back from actually doing it, or things keep getting in the way, something's just not quite going as smoothly as you want to? Well, tonight we are going to do everything we can in our power to make sure that if there is any roadblock, then that's removed, and that you are moving forward in flow and with freedom and with favor to go on this next step of your journey. So if you haven't seen or watched or listened to the podcast interview I did with Lisa I think that went out a couple of days ago, maybe even yesterday. I would really encourage you to go and listen to that, so that Lisa can give you the more of the backstory that we won't have time to do today, because we want to get into the content. So let's bring her up onto the screen. Give us give our lovely Lisa a phenomenal welcome in the chat. Let's blow the chat up, and as you have your light bulb moments, make sure you type them in, and any of the learnings that you're having, please do write them in the chat, because you might catch something that somebody else doesn't. And by you writing out your notes and using the chat for notes, then you help others to also move through this with you as well. And we'll make sure that when we send out the replay to you, that we send you the chat notes as well. So just know that this is a safe space for you to be able to communicate and share. And we may even have some time for questions at the end as well. So let's get her up onto the stage. Give us hearts, give us applause, give us Lisa in the chat there. And let's bring her up here. Lisa Clifford, welcome to the stage, my darling.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, brilliant. Well, hello, lovely ones. And I want to say thanks for coming out on this cold winter night. I don't know about you, but I've come out of my pajamas into a dress for you all and put lipstick on. And
yeah, now we know we're special.
And I just want to absolutely acknowledge that I am in the house with some already accomplished champions. I look round and I think everybody's in personal development. So I know that you're in support of me, and I hope if in some way I can shine what you already know a little bit more, or maybe your purpose has shifted a little bit. If tonight's session helps you, then I'll be really, really happy. And I'm going to do something I don't often do. I'm going to do presentation. How do I make it big? There we are. Can you see that?
Yeah, perfect.
Yay! So anybody that knows me knows I love experiential workshops. I love for you to have an experience where it's fully embodied. But I knew that tonight needed to be a little bit academic. And we're going to talk all about purpose tonight. And I think when I'm going to share a little bit of my journey, a tiny bit about my journey, because when I was going through how I would go through tonight, I realized that coming to your purpose is essential before you can set any goals, before you can decide what your business is going to be, before you can decide what you're going to do in your business and how you're going to do it and who you're going to do it with. I think the purpose part makes everything else fall into place. So what we're going to cover in tonight's session, to give you some headlines, it's going to be discovery all about you. We're going to have a purpose exercise. It's going to be interactive. We're going to have a guided visualization. We're going to have some shares. I'd like it to be interactive and participative. We're going to have a tiny purpose quiz at the end, and we'll wrap up with your next steps. So, yes, we're on the right track. To get us going, my lovelies, on a scale of 1 to 5, how connected, and just put this in the chat, how connected are you currently feeling to your purpose right now in this moment? Because you can know what your purpose is, but fall out with it sometimes, or feel a bit disconnected, or it fades. Now, I don't know how to look at the chat as well as do the presentation. So,
It's all
Sammy,
good. You're getting we've got some 3s, we've got some 4s, some 5s, we've got a couple of 0s. So there's a good Rosie's asked which is good, 1 or 5. So I'm going to assume that 5 is the highest and 1 is the lowest.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Yeah. So we've got some 0s and we've got some 4s and 5s. We've got a real spectrum. And I think even when you do know what your purpose is, that connection to it can vary, like anything, like a relationship, like the best lover in the world. Sometimes you feel really connected and sometimes you don't. So we'll go on a tiny journey. And this was me over 20 years ago. And I did sales for hotel groups, thought I loved it. It's all I'd ever known. I was grateful to it. You can see there winning awards, being all suited and booted, being the center of bloody attention in the big conference dinner parties, and not connected to purpose at all. But when I answered the question, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? It gave me a how answer, but not a purpose answer, which then led me. I know you love me because you're trying to keep a straight face, but you don't need to.
I have to say, Lisa, like, who else thinks that Lisa looks at least like 20, 30 years younger now than 20 years ago?
I picked this picture deliberately because this was me once I'd left my job and set up my own business, thought I was in purpose, but what I was in was how. And, and I think a picture paints 1,000 words. I think that girl, she's 34, looks soulless. I think that she looks like somebody's taken her lunch money off her. I'd left my job, I'd retrained, and I'd started working in my business as a hypnotherapist, a coach, workshop leader, but I felt a complete fraud. And I think you can see it in her eyes. Does anybody think I look happy there? And I wasn't fueled with any purpose. And I think a picture does paint 1,000 words. And I think that's the one thing that was missing was the purpose. And I think if you look back over your photographs over and they're stepping stones, aren't there? They're dots on a line. It's points in time. It's a timeline of who we are and what are we connected to. So from this point, I had to get curious because I was standing at the front of a room with a group full of people who were setting goals, looking like this, and wondering what can I do that will help them believe that they can do anything their heart desires without a shadow of a doubt. And that question was my purpose question, because I realized that if that's what my heart was asking, then that was linking me to my purpose. And the answer in the question blew my socks off. And here's a picture. I don't know if Sammy remembers, but me speaking at your...
I do remember this. I remember that dress. I
Yeah,
remember it.
can't get near it now. But anyway, that's what purpose does for you. It makes you put weight on.
Fulfillment in every way.
Fulfillment. But I asked the question that did blow my socks off. I had to get really honest and really curious, but really courageous in answering it. And so I went from soulless to getting connected. And when I knew what I was meant for, which was helping people believe in their incredible human potential, I then trained in being a firewalking instructor, which did something to me. It lit me up. Everything made sense in my life when I was doing the thing that I loved, when I was standing in my courage, stepping through my fear, being a firewalking instructor, and how I worked with people and the results it got for people. Everything in my life made sense. My purpose, helping people believe in their incredible human potential so that they can live the life that they know that they're meant for. Everything made sense. My crappy childhood, my childhood where I'd chosen not to be a victim, my career made sense, my beliefs made sense, my wound made sense, my unhelpful patterns made sense. And I got to a point where I was grateful. And I think when you're in purpose, something just locks into place about your life. I mean, can you pop in the comments if that's been true for you, if that makes sense to you, or what you think about that comment? When you're in purpose, your life makes sense. What's your thoughts about that comment? Just pop it in the comments, and then if my gorgeous assistant can read out to me, that'd be great.
We have yes, absolutely, on every level. Makes perfect sense, total sense. Definitely really resonate with that. So true. The focus shifts. Makes absolute sense. Makes perfect sense. Makes sense to me that I'm on the right track. Yeah, you feel the alignment. And then we've got yes with
Good.
lots of S's.
I can't remember who said it, but I heard somebody say, you've healed or you've forgiven when you are glad that it happened, whatever it is. And I think many of us on here tonight are, I mean, one of the words for us is wounded healers, that we have turned our pain into purpose. And I think that we can only work, lovely Polly says, talk from the scar, not from the wound. We can only do the work with people once we've done it on ourselves. Then that makes us the brilliant catalyst for change. that we are now. So the next job is, once you know what your purpose is, to pick the right vehicle, the right business, the right goals, having the right people around you, so that you can serve your purpose through the vehicle. Because I know that I was doing the stuff that I'd learned how to do, the hypnotherapy, the leading groups, the workshops, the coaching, but I was doing it without purpose. But I thought I was doing a good thing, so I must be in purpose. And then when I learned to run firewalking instructor training courses, there was something that locked in me that felt like I was born to do this. And it's an absolute inner knowing. And I think what I'm saying is that it's a journey. Sometimes it's a zigzag journey, and you have to wear different roles that many of us have done on here tonight, worn different roles and tried them on and thought, no, that doesn't quite fit the purpose. But when I taught and teach my firewalking instructor training course, I love that version of me. I feel the best me that I can be for people. I'm pressing my button. There we are. Here we are. Look at her now. What Bobby Dazzler. I should have put the before and after picture there. The me 20 years ago, 34, being really serious, acting as if I was someone. And here I am, just being. And yeah, once you're in your purpose, once you're living your purpose, once you're doing the work in the right vehicle, all the challenges you would not be without. So now, Pablo Picasso, the meaning of life is to find your purpose. The purpose of life is to give it away. And I know that's right up all of our streets tonight. It's why I chose it, because I just thought, when I saw the guest list, I thought, well, this is how everybody here lives already. So what about you? Now we're getting into you. Now that I've sold purpose to you, not that you needed it, but it's a time for you to get your notebook and pen out and just write down. You're just going to get a couple of minutes for this, because I've got quite a few things to do with you. But step one is to reflect on your key life experiences. What are 3 most significant experiences in your life, both highs and lows? Now, I don't want you to trigger yourself. I want you to do this with deep care for yourself. So pick anything that stands out for you, that has been significant for you. 3 experiences in your life that have been significant. And then when you've got those, just make a note of what emotions were strongest during those moments. And they might be different for each of the experiences, and that's fine. At the moment, we're gathering data. Just give it another minute. Are we ready for the next one? The golden thread of your life. Step 2, patterns in passion. When have you felt the most alive and fulfilled? What were you doing and why did it matter to you? So when have you felt the most alive or fulfilled? Come up with a couple of points for that. What were you doing and why did it matter to you? And the next part 3 of step 1 is, what struggles or challenges seem to repeat in your life or have repeated in your life? And how have you grown as a result of them? So what struggles or challenges seem to have repeated in your life and how have you grown from them? Are we ready for now what we do with all of that? Excellent. We are racing through this, but I know that you've got the questions, and what you don't fill in right now, you can continue with later. But I want you to pick one answer from all of that information you've just written down, which was stage 1, step 1. So out of all the things that you've written down, I want you to pick one answer, and we're going to go deeper, and we're going to do this. We're just going to go deeper 3 whys. When I do this with groups, we go 6 whys deep. Y deep. So how this goes is, when did I feel most alive? Pick the answer that answers that. Here's an example. Helping a friend through a tough time. Why is that important to me? I loved being able to make a difference. The next why is a why deeper. Why does making a difference feel important to me? It reminded me how meaningful connection is. The next why is connection important to me? It's because it is what I lacked growing up. Want to support others. And I want to support others. So just pick one of your experiences that made you feel the most alive, and then why is it important to you? Okay. So we're going to move on to identifying the golden thread. So what were the recurring themes across your life's pivotal moments? So just write your answer for that. What were the recurring themes across your life's pivotal moments? Maybe the theme was about who you were in it. Maybe the theme was the situations, the experiences. Maybe the theme is the growth you always had, or the healing you always had. Or maybe the theme was who you were in each moment. Then how have those experiences, all of the ones that you filled in stage one, how have all those experiences shaped who you are today? And then if you were without fear, I'm going to put that at the beginning of this. If you were without fear, what unique impact do you feel drawn to create in the world. If you were without fear and you thought, my life, those experiences, the things that I've overcome, the challenges I've overcome, the things that I've done that have fulfilled me, the person I've become, if I was without fear, I would want to make this impact in the world. If I wasn't afraid of being seen, if I wasn't afraid of being successful, if I wasn't afraid of standing out, if I wasn't afraid of what others might think, and then that leads us to finishing this question. The golden thread of my life is ... And then we'll share. I am very aware we raced through a half-a-day workshop in 15 minutes. I know. But before we move on to the next thing, you've now got a template that you can use. Before we move on to the next thing, who would love to share my golden thread is? I can't believe Rosie's not speaking out first.
Come on, guys, don't be shy, guys and girls. All right, Sue. Sue's got her hand up. Sue, you want to come up? And
Yeah.
Rosie's unmuted, so we're going to make sure we come to Rosie. Sue, you want to get us started today?
Yeah, a child ahead of her time who pioneered coping with neurodiversity before it was a mainstream thing. Ooh. And who was an indigo child who demonized her sensitivity when actually it's extraordinary and it's a gift to the world.
Wow.
I think we should rename, we're going to rebrand Sue to Superpowers Sue.
Wow, Sue, you gave me goosebumps. Thank you for sharing that. Who else feels good?
Brilliant. Thank you, Sue. Now, these are all very outspoken ladies and gentlemen, usually.
Did we go through it too fast, all the steps?
I think there's a lot of percolating that's going on. I was writing with smoke coming off the page. But you know what? I think that helps us to crystallize focus. I quite like doing it that quickly because then I can't talk myself out of it. I haven't got time to judge it. It's just got to flow.
Sabina, are you unmuted?
Yeah, I'll go next. It's rough and ready, but it's it gets to
perfectly imperfect.
So my golden thread of my life is to make children's lives better and help parents support them better. Simple.
Thank you. Perfect. Lovely.
Amazing, Sabina. Thank you. Anyone else? This is your opportunity to let everybody know what you're up to. Drusilla and then Simi.
The golden thread of mine is to fearlessly stand out for diversity and inclusion, to build peace, harmony, value humanism, and build unshakable foundation for current and future generations.
Brilliant. I gave you loads of time, clearly.
Yeah, gave us too much time.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Simi.
Hi, thank you for that, Lisa and Sammy. So the golden thread of my life is support and connection with others.
Nice.
Definitely.
Lovely.
And also, Simi, if I could add something to that, is you are such an encourager. You are such an encourager and empowerer of people that you, without even trying, get the best out of every single person that is blessed to have you in their lives. So I think that it's you amplify what is already there. And I think because you are so secure in your identity, it gives people permission to be secure and open in theirs. So if I could offer that reflection to you.
Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. Thank you so much. I receive it with love.
Receive, absolutely. All right, Daksha and Stephen, if we've got time. Yeah, we'll just and Anya. Daksha, Stephen, and Anya.
So just going through this exercise, I kind of had a little bit of an epiphany. And it was up until now, I think a lot of the focus has been on changing the world. And the epiphany has been that we are energetic, loving beings, and the purpose is to change ourselves. And in doing so, the world changes.
Lovely.
Amen.
Lovely.
I love that.
Lovely.
Yes. All right, Stephen. We can't hear you.
So my golden thread, I thought, you can do without lip reading for a while. My golden thread is to help people with chronic health conditions realize that that chronic condition is merely a gateway challenge to their next stage of evolution, not a destination.
Not a destination. Just, yeah, love that.
Lovely.
They don't have to stay there. Someone said we last year we were going through some big challenges, and they said, look, when you're going through hell, don't pitch a tent, just keep going. so you help them to not pitch that tent there and come back to complete restored supernatural wellness. I love that. Anya.
Thank you. I loved it all too. So my golden thread is to provide a safe, supportive and trusting place for women to explore who they are and be all themselves without the labels, beliefs and emotions holding them back from the past.
Wow. Brilliant.
Who stole Anya? Like, Anya is just like the Anya that I met 3 years ago would never have got up and said that. Like, you owned that.
And I can feel it. I felt the emotion of writing the words.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
This is like a banquet of like all my favorite people and all my favorite things in one place, talking about the favorite things that they do. I just love that. Love it. And Willetta, my darling, tuning in from Germany. You're back in Germany now?
Yes, and it's good to be back. My golden thread in life is to create an environment where people are uplifted, supported, and inspired through a meaningful connection with God.
Lovely.
And it can't help but bubble out of you. Like you are just overflowing overflowing. I love it. And what a difference you make. And again, like with Simi, I think because it just bubbles out and flows out of you, everybody feels it. Everybody feels it. Feel so blessed that Rosie connects you and us, Willetta. Yay. Oh, wow. And
Thank you.
finally, let's
we've
have
got-
the lovely Gina.
Well, hi. So my golden thread in life is to help people find their way back home to self-love and realize their unique potential so that they in turn can help others find their way home.
Oh, what
Yummy. Yum, yum, yum.
gorgeous.
Thank you for sharing that, Gina.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful ones there. And don't worry, if you didn't get time, don't worry. I mean, we hopefully will have some more time to have a few more shares towards the end. And don't worry, Sue, this is recorded, so you can go through these questions and have a bit more time to percolate. And Dr. Teresa says, is your golden thread always supposed to connect to other people? Because mine is quite selfish.
I don't think so. I think that your golden thread can impact other people just by you being in your purpose. I just think that somebody being in purpose at the checkout till, doing their job, can inspire people. So yeah, I think it's as Daksha says, start with yourself. I think I saw a little video a while back of somebody saying discipline starts with making your own bed. How can you go and change the world if you can't even make your own bed? It starts with the small things and then grows from there, doesn't it? So I would love, not at breakneck speed, but in a lovely, gentle, beautiful, Yorkshire toned way, do a little visualization on you, with you. So if you'd all just like to get comfy, slouch if you like, just allow your eyes just to close or lower, whatever feels comfortable for you. This is time where you're just going to create your own movie theatre in your own mind and bring your focus into yourself. Sit back, relax, close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. And as you slowly exhale, let go of any tension in your body. Feel your feet on the ground and your hands resting gently on your lap. This is time for you to just connect with yourself. If it's more comfortable for you to lie back, then you can do that too. Take another deep breath in and let it out slowly. As you breathe, allow your mind to settle and imagine yourself traveling forward through time. Visualizing your life at 90 years old. Picture yourself gorgeous at 90 years old. You're surrounded by people who love you and appreciate you. It's a celebration of your life. Maybe it's a birthday or a gathering in your honor. The room is warm, filled with laughter and the presence of those you've touched in your lifetime. Just take a moment and notice that room full of people there in your honor. Look around the space. Notice who is there. Family, friends, colleagues, maybe even people you've never met, but who you've impacted by the work or your actions. Now imagine someone standing up to speak about you. They're sharing what you've meant to them, the impact you've had, and the legacy you've left behind. Listen carefully to their words, what they're thanking you for, what they say you've brought to their lives and the lives of others, how they describe your unique contribution to the world. Just take a moment and listen to that person's words, comments, as you look around the room and see your friends and family nodding and agreeing and cheering, hearing, looking to you, smiling, with just love in their eyes, feeling so blessed to have known you, the work you do, and the difference you've made. So reflecting on your legacy, just take a moment to reflect on the legacy you've created. Think about the values you live by, the passions you pursued, and the way that you showed up in the world. What are the things that truly mattered to you? What are you most proud of? And as you just sit with this image, feel a deep sense of gratitude for the life that you've lived and the purpose that you have served. Know that everything you've done has been meaningful and true to who you really are. So just take a moment to notice the values that you've lived by, how you've shown up, who you've been for yourself and for others. So just returning to this moment now, just take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your focus and your attention to the present, allowing your arms, your fingers, your toes to move and stretch. When it feels good, reach out to the side. And open your eyes and give everybody a big hug that you've just had a wee nap with. Yes. And I would love to hear just for a few moments, anybody that would like to share anything from that that gentle visualization. Was there anything that you needed to hear or see? Anything that surprised you?
Well, I personally saw campuses everywhere that were filled with businesses that were making impact on so many lives all over the world. And there wasn't just one campus, there were many different campuses that had all come together to celebrate thousands of business owners, faith-based business owners going out there really making their ripples. What did y'all see? I think you may be still quietly marinating.
Don't feel under pressure to say anything.
Hey,
But
we've got Willetta. Willetta, if you could speak a little bit louder into your mic, we could just about hear you last time.
All right, sorry. I just thought about a word that I had forgotten in my golden thread, and what is really important to me. It's for people to feel love, and I would want people to say that they just felt love from me, acceptance, and it just made me that much more aware of how important it is for me to go forward with love. And that's what really struck me the most when I thought about what I would want people to say and how I want them to feel about me.
I love that. Yeah. And the thing is, we when we think of building businesses and doing meaningful things out in the world, we think about all of the things that we have to do, and we have these tick boxes of, like, how many of you feel like when you make your to-do list, the to-do list then comes with its own to-do list, and then that starts breeding as well. But if the one thing all of us committed to do was just to make everybody who comes into a contact with our business feel loved, wouldn't you say that we are all capable of doing that? If that was the biggest tick thing that you needed to do, that's actually all you need to do to build a brand, is to help people to feel loved by your business. It's the biggest tip that you can do. So thank you, Willetta, for that reminder. Kaz, come on up, darling.
Oh, I loved that. I could have stayed there forever.
Did you? It's because you recognise the accent.
I think I was tuned right in there, Lisa. You're so right. Yeah, so I was at a party, and even at 90, I still had lots of energy, but there was loads of smiling eyes, that is, not ice, and music and warmth, and just some lovely words from different people about support and inspiration and love and laughter and tears and being bold and believing and all the things that I hope that, yeah, I've experienced, but that I can help other people to experience. So yeah, it was just sparkly. It was lovely.
Oh, thank you, Kaz.
Thank you.
Love that.
And I think that's a great exercise in your own version to do, perhaps before you go to sleep at night, is to think about the you in the future and the lives that you've touched. And it's something that I do where, before I go on stage, is I imagine what people are saying to me afterwards, and then I hold myself accountable to making that difference naturally. And so I think that all we've done is just looked into the future and thought, who do I need to hold myself accountable to today? In the short time that we've had, then, in the comments, can you put on a scale of 1 to 5 how connected you feel to your purpose now? And if somebody still feels a 0, that's also okay. I will cry, but lovely. Thank you. And well, to wrap up with, before I then ask for your thoughts right at the end, just some quiz questions, I guess. It's less of a quiz, really, and just more of some thought-provoking questions. I won't put the slides back up because I like to see all of your faces, but what energizes you the most? Let's just take a moment to refresh in our mind's eye and our consciousness. What are you doing when you feel the most energized? What gives you energy? And then I'm going to leave it for you to decide the frequency you're going to commit to doing that on. And then what skill do people often or character attribute do people often compliment you on? I mean, Sammy's she's spent such a long time with you over the last, I don't know how long, and she's just already said to some of you already the blessings that you are. So what do people compliment you on that perhaps you just don't notice it because you're just being you, but to them, they see it and value it? Oh, getting some in the comments. I love this. Thank you, Sue, for kicking that off. Oh, is it gone? And then lastly, what problem in the world do you feel called to solve? And can you pop that in the comments? The problem in the world that you feel called to solve. Empowering my learners to be what they didn't think they could be. Absolutely. I think we've already heard tonight as well. Loved and connected problems feel called to solve. Thanks. Loneliness. Generational perception of neurodiversity in highly sensitive humans. You did, Sue, I think I read an old message. I think I read an old one. Toxicity in the workplace. Helping people build an impactful business without compromising on themselves or faith.
Rosie, have you got one you want to come and share? You got your hand up?
Yeah, I actually just wanted to say that why I didn't speak up at the beginning is because I was totally overwhelmed. I couldn't get my thoughts in line. It was too fast for me. It was too many things. And during the visualization, it all came together. And I got my answers to the first bit. Yeah, it just reminds me, I asked people today, because it's the beginning of the year, and I had a number of training. I had 5 training sessions with about 3 people each time. And I asked them what they want to do this year, if we should do anything different. And they said we should do nothing different. They love what we do. They love the way we do it. And it's exactly what they're looking for. And it's the way they achieve, the fluency that they need. So, yeah, so it came together. Thank you.
Love that.
Thank you. I was totally aware it was a lot and it was fast, but I was also working on the basis that you could keep the slides and have them to go through later as well. So so thank you for saying that.
I just know that Sammy's thinking, why is she so quiet?
Yeah, what's wrong with her? I was thinking,
we're all thinking that, like, what's happened?
Oh, okay.
But we're also with you at the same time. We're like, yeah, it was fast. I thought it was hilarious that how analytical my brain, like my little autistic part of me, as we were doing the visualization, was like seeing me at 90, and I was seeing Greg, and I was like, whoa, hang on a minute. If I'm 90, that means Greg's 101. Wow, maybe we're celebrating his birthday at the same time. That part of me was going, well, hang on, where's the real part of this?
So, in closing then, and then we can have a quick share, as much of a show as you'd like to facilitate there, Sammy, but in closing, your purpose in life is to find your purpose and then to give your heart and soul to it. And otherwise you will look like me. at 34. That's enough to scare any of you. So thank you for fully participating, fully supporting me. And I now want to hand it over for any questions or any sharings that you have. And I'll allow you, Sammy, to facilitate that because you know the timing that we're working to.
Yeah, we'll just take a few minutes. So if anybody wants to come up and share, we'd love to hear either your takeaways for today, or it might be that you've just had this little inner knowing thing that has happened for you. Maybe like with Rosie had like the whole thing all came to her as she was just allowing. So, you know, I love that. Be still and know that I am God. When Rosie was still, it all came to her. Whereas sometimes I think what we can do is get so in the perfection, I've got to get this right, or it is what I'm writing. Is that what it is? And we can judge it. And then, not saying that that's what Rosie did. I'm just saying that, like, I know that I do that when I'm writing, I'm trying to get the answers all in there. And that's, it's when I give it space, breathing space. And that visualization was so lovely, Lisa. It just allowed all the things that were percolating and marinating to pop up. So does anybody want to come up and share? Hester. Here we go. Come up, Hester, and then we'll have Drusilla.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to share the golden threads because it was so much in this 1 hour. So really, yeah, it was a lot. Thank you for that, Lisa. And my golden thread, by embracing my authenticity and who I truly am, I found the courage and inner strength to be seen. Yeah, I think that's all my life. Yeah. So thank you for this, awareness.
Beautiful. Thank you, Hester. And Drusilla, come on up.
I want to thank you, Sammy and Lisa. So my little notebook is about my purpose. Yesterday, somebody said that purpose is discovered. And then I said to myself, I have to rediscover my purpose. And today when I saw your email popping up into my email, Sammy, I said, this is the time. And I'm glad that I participated in this. And the journey we went through visualization and the words that came up and how I was invincible as a cabinet minister, as a parliamentarian, as an influencer for laws and policies. And this is what I am about to do here on earth concerning diversity, equity, inclusion. And this is why I'm talking about refugees and immigrants, because the whole world seemed to hunt refugees and immigrants instead of hugging them and appreciating the good they are bringing in the world. So I just wanted to thank you, and I will keep this at my heart, and I will always remember this day in my life.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you, Drusilla.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that. Well, I think we need to wrap up because we're a little bit over. Wendy has put a link in the chat for any of you that want to go that next step with Lisa. Lisa, do you want to, I think it's important that we know not only the things that have come out today, but what if that's come out and we want to do something else with them, and you're the girl. You're the girl to do that with. So how can we find out more about what you're up to and get involved in the good stuff you're doing?
My website for ease is lisaclifford.co.uk. So just my name. And I'm running a fire walking instructor training course in the 28th of February in Yorkshire. That is just phenomenal for trainers, speakers, coaches who want to have some more modalities that help people have brilliant breakthroughs in a heartbeat, you know, just in the palm of your hands. So that is in end of February. And then there's my Meant for More program that helps people on a much more in-depth, held way of understanding what their purpose is, and then working out what the vehicle is and how it goes out into the world. And that's a one-to-one, buckle up, we're going on a ride program. If that doesn't sound scary. It's quite enjoyable, but powerful and thorough.
Lisa, I love working with you. And I remember back in, I guess it would have been around 2007, 2008, when I went through a process like the process you now take others through. And I remember laying on you. We were talking about this last week, I think. I was laying on your therapist's couch, and you did a hypnosis with me. Much like the one you just did there, but obviously longer. And I remember seeing myself delivering presentation. I was presenting. Now at that point, I wasn't getting up really and standing in front of anybody. I wasn't presenting. That wasn't what I thought that I was meant to be doing. But in that visualization, I saw myself presenting, and I saw myself making a difference to people, and I saw rooms of people that I was supporting. And I remember coming out of the visualization, and you said to me, wow, like I just saw you presenting, and like you had exactly the same vision that I had while you were taking me through the process. And I remember coming out of that and thinking, wow, like if she saw it too, then I think that's confirmation that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I think we can underestimate and maybe even undervalue the power of having someone tenderly walk through that journey with you on a one-to-one basis. I mean, we're so used to doing things in groups now, but to have you as a coach just walking tenderly through that unfolding of the the seed touching that light for the first time, and it's like, how do I water this? And you've just been so amazing for me. So I want to say thank you for all the blessings that you've been and done in my life. But for those of you that want to reach out to Lisa, or you're thinking, you know what, actually I'd really love to add fire walking to the list of all the things that I'm already doing, and I'd love to be going on that journey, make sure you look in the chat. And for those of you that are watching the replay, we'll make sure we put the link with it as well. You can go to lisaclifford.co.uk, or there's also her fire walk training instructor link there as well. So we'll make sure we put that with the notes. So guys and girls, I'd love for you to just take a moment to write one word in the chat that sums up your experience tonight, so that when Lisa looks back on all the notes that are in the chat, she can see what a difference even just this hour of power has made by being together. Let's see some of these words that are coming through. Inspirational, powerful, enlightening, inspiring, tapping into my truth, powerful, emotionally deep, thought-provoking, uplifting, and many, many more. Confirmational, revealing, insightful. Yeah, confirmation. I think confirmation is a word for me as well. Lisa, what would your word be for today's training?
Gratitude. Gratitude that this screen, this room is full of people that are already, as I said, accomplished champions in the world, in the personal development world, and in their worlds of making a difference. And you showed up with an open heart, not with an attitude of I already know this. What you showed up as gracefully and with integrity. And yeah, this is what I think grace looks like, when people are already accomplished but show up and have an open heart. To me, that's grace. So I say gratitude, but actually I mean gratitude for the grace.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay,
Thank you.
Wendy's going to send you a little message on WhatsApp as well. And also, just one final thing, our next session is on the 21st of January. So those of you that are joining in live, our next session will be then. But remember, we're going to be here on this same Zoom link on the 1st and 3rd Tuesday of every month to inspire you, to empower you, to keep that wisdom imploding and exploding, so that it's not just something you're doing from within, but it's always wisdom that we want you to then go out there and impart that with the world, because that's what you've been through, that incredible journey that you've been on. You've literally walked through the fire of your life, and now it's time to share that. And I think what a great thing to do after this session is to take a little bit of time to marinate on these questions in a bit of a deeper way, while my cat has a sneezing fit. Sorry, you can hear him having a sneezing fit there. To have some time, give yourself the gift of time to do a bit of marinating on those. And then I'd love for you to share, to do a video, or to write a blog post or something that shares your answers to, when do I feel most alive? What are the most important things to me? What is the unique impact that I feel drawn to create in the world? Like, these are all questions that Lisa set you up with, that is good marketing material for you to then go and share the answers to those things. Hey, recently I learned about myself or was reminded that the reason why I started this in the first place was this. And here's why it's so important to me. I think we all owe the people that are following us on our Facebooks and YouTube channels and Instagram profiles and LinkedIn. You've got so many connections, each and every one of you. Wouldn't it be lovely to start the year reminding them why you do what you do each day? So lovely, Lisa. Thank you so much for the time you've given us today. We feel so blessed by you, and cannot wait to see you in February. For those of you that are coming to the members retreat, our next retreat is in February, so I'll be flying back to the UK for that. So Lisa will be doing some transformational work with us on that retreat a couple of days. And if we don't see you before, we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next training session, which I think I put the title for that. It's called You Are Always More Than Enough, Finding Your Best You. So that is what we're going to be working on in a couple of weeks. And for those of you that are on the Impact Catalyst program, I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. And we're going to dive into your training on really stepping into the identity of your brand. So we're going to look at your identity, and we're also going to look at your dream client avatar. So for those of you who already know exactly who your dream client is, I promise you there will be another level and another layer of that person that you get to meet tomorrow. And that means as soon as you start to bubble those things up and they become more visible to you, things that you just might not have seen before or realized before, it means that you can be creating products and programs in an even more helpful, more impactful way. And the more impact you're making, the more income you'll make, because you get paid for the impact that you make. So if you want more income in 2025, let's raise that ripple. Let's raise that by raising you and getting more clear about who they are and how you're going to make that difference to them. So for those of you on the program, we'll see you tomorrow. Those of you that are joining us for the next session, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Stay blessed and keep being the blessing, guys and girls. Sending you lots and lots of love. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.